So I wanted to talk about Merc Thunderbolt series lower units because they can be a booger. And a few things. One, so like, I mean, you got 40s all the way up to, well, actually, I think you got 25s all the way up to, 115s. Up until the 80s, I guess. So, but one of the things like installing the lower unit can be a real booger. And so, I don't know, thought I would show you a couple things that I know. One, like here's an intake manifold, right? So when you put the lower unit on, I know you're like, I thought we were talking about lower units. Well, we are. So you'll notice this little star thing right here. Star. It's just a little triangle. That's what it is. Anyway, going down into the lower unit, this really filthy one is, your shift. So that's like your shift shaft. Connects onto the lower unit. So it rides just below this triangle. And what happens a lot is when you're pushing that on, it'll push this up. I mean, it'll touch it. Some of them are a little different than others. Like on the one that's out there, I could try to show you, but it's pretty far down there, and it's not like a triangle piece. It's a little different because it's a little, that one's, what is that? No, that's a 4-cylinder. It's a 4-cylinder 65. But, so what do? Well, I got down here, there's an opening. Let me set this down. There's an opening, like here's the lower unit, and then right around in here somewhere, there's an opening where the housing is kind of exposed to this rod. So what I do is I just take, and I got them out there, I put a small pair of vice grips. Like I got a big pair in here, to show you. But there's like where the housing kind of meets in there. When you clamp this on, when you clamp this on, it'll kind of sit up against that housing, and it'll keep it from moving upward. What you don't want is that rod to come up there, because I mean it is possible that you put enough pressure on this, and I know this because I did this once. Snap this off, and then you got a hole in the intake. Most of the Mercs have like a star key. This one happens to go all the way through. A lot of them have just a hole and it's a star. So this will just fall out. You need it to go into here. So you can do a couple things. You can do like I did with this. The easier thing to do is just go ahead and just drop it right here. Let me show that. Because see this hole, that's not going to go down that way. Now the star ones will. Like if you look at this 50, see it has a bigger hole. If you could see down in that hole, you'd see that there's like a star bolt. That's what most of them are, but this was not. So you just want to make sure that this goes in the hole. Otherwise you'll be taking it back off. So yeah, you want to take your water tube. I don't know why it was so hard, but you want to put that back up into the, and you just take a flashlight and fish that dude back up there. So I gotta take off my glasses to do this, but next thing you're gonna do is, like I was saying, it's right inside there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, come up maybe with the picture. Is that bar? Yeah, see it right there. Anyway, you just want to take, and like I got a pair of these. Clip it on that bar, and then so you can see now it won't go up. And then set my lower unit back up here. Put my tube back in, and then for the clutch, I mean the clutch, for the shift shaft, we want that guy to be orientated. I don't know. And just to make sure it's on there right, you might have to take this off. There it goes. Okay, so I've got the lower unit. It's ready to go back onto the power head. So I've checked it, prop, spun it both ways to make sure that it's in neutral. And I know and have verified that it's in neutral. I got the water tube installed, and then I've got the shift shaft with the little keyway into its grooves. And then some of the lower units, they have a brake, a reverse lock, and that's gonna look like that guy, right? And this just slides up. That's this engine that I have out here. It doesn't have the reverse brake or lock. So you just have the one keyway. So that's it. So the next thing that you want to do is you want to take your front plate off. You want to take your shroud off and your top part of your cowl. That's all part of the top cowl. And the reason you do that is because as you're putting that lower unit in, you may want to turn your power head so that it slides up into the power head. But the other thing you want to do is down here, which I'll show, down here, and I'm pointing my light at it, is that shift shaft. It's that guy right there. Right? So we want to watch that, make sure it doesn't come up towards that triangle. Because if it does, you know, like I was saying, you can bust your power head. So then on this is your water jacket, right? And you got these bolts. There's 3 this line here, and there's like 4 on this side. This is your throttle linkage, this right here, and below it, down there, is where the shift cable linkage hooks up. And what you want to do is take off the shift and the throttle cable. And there's these two, if I can show it. I'm going to put the light like that. There's these two, and some are different, like that one only has one. But they're pretty simple to figure out. You're going to push them in, turn, and then it'll disengage the barrel, which is that guy. See the barrel? Trying to see if I'm getting the shot or not. You see the barrel, and then there's the barrel below it. The one that I just installed, the barrel sits down inside of a groove, and the top barrel has the little spring-loaded clip mechanism. If you disconnect those, it'll help with the shift shaft not getting bound up, because it'll be free. But what you want to do is, there's these 3 bolts, and then there's these 3 bolts. Where your cable hooks up to the mechanism that turns the shift shaft, you want to make sure it's lined up with here, and that's your neutral, right? And then when you connect your cable up, you can adjust the cable to be in neutral, all right? And that'll help you get the lower unit back on. It seems like it's a pain to undo the cables, but honestly, it's not in the short run. Holding it the wrong way. And we'll get to a certain point, and then we'll need to make sure our water tube goes in. It's kind of a booger because they didn't make it long enough, if you ask me. So now what? It's holding this up. There we go. Alright. And then I got a bolt on the side that's the stud came out. Oops. Get a bolt going, then take a rest. You just don't want to force it, that's the whole thing. Yeah, it's alright. So I got the lower unit back on. Kind of show you what I'm talking about. So, see the barrel now? Before it was adjusted all the way back to here. So I adjusted the barrel here. Now it lays right in the slot here, and my motor's in neutral, and then where that bolt was should be even kind of the middle of these bolts. At least that's what the manual shows you. Get back on it, and we can call that a win. So the last thing really is that we need to put our trim tab back on. Yeah. It's the Allen key. It's pretty tight. If it's already set up, chances are your neutral and all that is in the right location. This one didn't have the right location, so take your cables off and then adjust them, and having that free, the shift shaft that's in the motor, having that free will allow you to get that lower unit started up on the shift shaft. Like I said, you don't want to force it. You don't want to give it a bunch of like pressure and stuff, because then you could have damage like I was talking about by actually popping a hole in your intake. And you don't want to do that. So, because then it's a really bad day. So anyway, hope you like this video. If you like what you saw, please like it. Give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. And hope everybody has a great weekend.
I used to